let's go on to chapter 4, Diamond in the Rough. And this is fitting because the Twins did have gotten a few diamonds here in what the rest of time can seem a very frustrating for the Twins. And it starts off, we weren't alive for this, but Twins lose the World Series in '65, and similarly in Minnesota sports fashion, the winner go home game, the offense forgets to show up and get shut out.
Well, yeah, and what the three games in Los Angeles, they scored 2 runs in 27 innings.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Kind of fitting we're going back to LA tonight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then '69 when they could have matched up against the Miracle Mets, but they were swept by the Orioles, who were on a mission. They were probably the best team in baseball that year. 109-53. Oh, unbelievable. And then
Wow, they won.
that was in Rod Carews, which well, Bert Blyleven. There was just a lot of full circle moments in this one where they where the White Sox in '86 the Twins were playing the White Sox, and Greg Gagne hit 2 inside the park home runs in one game. He did it against White Sox pitcher Floyd Bannister, and Minnesota won 7-3, and the winning pitcher was Bert Blyleven.
Nothing in this chapter is really that surprising.
No, and also, guys, too. So I was chatting with Dan on Friday. We were just messaging back and forth, and a couple of notes here is so the Dirty Dozen was actually this was determined by a Twitter poll, which explains why the rankings are what they are. And then we also, when he comes on, so have this ready when he comes on, which will be a couple of weeks still after we finish. It's going to be, we did a Mount Rushmore of Minnesota sports with Ross Brendel. And since this book is History of Heartbreak, I think it's fitting that we do a Mount Flushmore of Minnesota sports faces. So the worst of the worst in Minnesota sports. And I don't know how we're going to get it down to 4, but we're going to do it.
I'm exhausted thinking about that.
Yeah. Well, this chapter 4 gives us a few.
I just want a blanket statement right here. Carl Pohlad, I'm glad he died and didn't get to see Target Field open up. That sick son of a bitch didn't deserve any nice thing in his life.
Well, neither did the owner before him.
No. Just too crusty old.
And I think this guy is worse, where he got Rod Carew, probably one of the nicest guys in the MLB ever, to say he will never play for the Twins again because the best offer he would give a guy was $240,000, one of the best hitters in baseball history, and that's all you're going to offer him, compared to Mike Schmidt, who was making $560,000.
The one that really killed me, guys, was in the next chapter when the Twins had the first pick after the '82 season. They finished with 102 losses. The first overall pick was looking for a minimum of $125,000 signing bonus. The second pick was signed $140,000 deal. Oh, sweet. That should be an issue. He's asking for less than the guy before. What does that owner do? He offers him $60,000.
We're so lucky that guy. Like, obviously, he didn't mount anything.
Yeah.
Like, he was just a bust.
Yeah, exactly.
But how did he not end up like David Ortiz? Like, just completely fuck us.
Yeah, it's just, oh, well, we didn't like his style, and his swing was too violent, so we had to let him go. What the fuck?
Well, later on, where they talk about the how they could have had Steve Garvey, but the owner didn't want to pay him much. It's like, well, Steve Garvey was a Hall of Famer. The guy they took was to quote The Rock, the biggest load of dog shit.
I'm just gonna say now, Carl Pohlad is gonna be on my Mount Flushmore of Minnesota sports. The dude's a total asshat.
Oh my God.
Tries to sell the team, doesn't want to pay anyone, lets Santana walk and Torrey Hunter walk the same fucking offseason, right after they win the division, have a great
and
year.
after they get a new bill for the new stadium.
Yeah. And then, like, oh, please, could not the Metrodome could not generate the revenue needed for the Twins to remain competitive? Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Like, no, that's not true. That's you trying to be a cheap fuck and want a new stadium, but not have to pay for it.
I mean, the dude at the end of his run as the owner, what did he buy the team for? Was it like 30 million or 86, and it turned into 300 million plus? And you can't pay these players. His net worth was over $3 billion when he died.
And yet, on December 8th, after they weren't allowed to sell the fucking team, you cut the payroll from 27 million, a whopping 27 million. Carlos Correa makes more than that now.
It's just insane.
He cut it to 10 to 15 million. Like, are you who the fuck are you paying?
Oh, guys.
Well, and he also let the two faces of the franchise that were going to help them bring in the new stadium walk. It's because they didn't want to give Torrey Hunter 5 years. They only offered him 3. And then Johan Santana, who at the time was the best pitcher in baseball.
and then their stupid excuse. We wanted to build a team for the new stadium. You're going to what?
You let them walk.
And the year before, they won the AL Central, and if Francisco Liriano doesn't get hurt in the series of what ifs that I thought could have been on this in this book is if he doesn't get hurt, I like their chances to at least make the ALCS and play Detroit, a team that they had success with and beat in the division. And who knows? We get a rematch of the '87 World Series.
Fuck Carl.
You can't make this up. And then also another one which is just ridiculous. The pitcher being caught cheating on the mound because his ball was moving too much.
Joe Niekro.
For the love of God, could you make it more obvious that you had something going on with the sandpaper in the back of your glove there, dude?
Well, and I wanted I don't know if it was Joe Niekro or not, but if you've ever seen the documentary about the '86 Mets, there was a knuckleballer for the Astros where like after an inning, one of the Mets pitchers tossed one of the balls that the pitcher was using into the Mets dugout, and then in the post-game press conference showed the ball where you could clearly tell he was rubbing sandpaper on the ball. And then another one too is that the Twins let David Ortiz walk. And then Terry Ryan quotes it as, "It wasn't a financial decision. It was a very bad baseball decision." You think?
You think, buddy? First ballot Hall of Famer.
Then Killebrew gets hurt in a fucking All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yep. I mean, this is probably the best section of the podcast here, where we're just ranting about the Twins. And the 2016 season, we do not want to discuss that season. We were living together when that season started, and they were so bad. By the end of our time living together, we were just laughing at how bad they were. Like, we could just pick when the blow up was going to happen, and it on cue happened.
We were cheering. Like, I remember once, this season was so bad. Like, my junior year in high school, our high school basketball coaches were such assholes. We had one senior on the team. We had no players in our junior class. The first game we went to, we were down like 48-92. The student section started chanting something along the lines, "Oh, we hope the other team gets to 100 because they were so bad." We were just hoping the implosion was happening. And the scoreboard didn't have 100. It would have gone to 0-0. And we would have been starting over again.
And I the one I remember from that season is when the Twins were playing the Nationals, and they were winning. It was like 4-3 or something. It was a 1-run game, and Bryce Harper wasn't in the lineup that day.
Oh my!
They bring him in to pitch hit, and we all go, "Oh, this is bad. He's gonna tie this game up." First pitch, moonshot, like out of Nationals Park. And we're like, "Yep,
Oh,
yep." And all of us just kind of slouched down in our chair, like, "Ugh."
I remember that day to this day. Yeah, we were like, "It's happening. It's happening."